Terra Monster, and I like to make things. Summer is finally here. But do you have too many long sleeve shirts and not enough shirts for summer? Well, today I'm going to show you how to fix that. We're going to turn this into this. Let's get crafting. The first step is to mark your shirt where you want the cuts to go down. I usually like to do mine right before my bra begins, which is right about here. Mark it with your chalk, and then we'll go to the cutting table. Step 1 is to grab our ruler and draw a line all the way across where our chalk mark is. Step 2 is to draw another line along the bottom at about 7 inches. Make sure it's nice and straight. I like to line mine up with the lines on my cutting table. Now it's time to cut our bottom fringe. I'm going to start 1 inch in from the part that's curved in the furthest. And using my cutting table as a rough guide of where the inch cuts are, I'm going to start cutting. I'm gonna make a little marker about where I should stop cutting, just for reference. All right, my cut's a little off, but it actually doesn't matter at all. Just as long as these are roughly 1 inch wide, you'll be all good. Oh, looks like there's a tag in here. We'll just cut that out too. And now we're going to cut our last piece right in half along the seam. And the same with the other side. Perfect. And it's totally up to you if you want to leave the bottom seam on. I think this shirt, it looks kind of cool. I'm just going to stretch these a little bit. There we go. Look at that fun fringe. And now we're going to do the top. And just to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and draw marks at the inch mark. And I'm going to start actually a couple inches in because I don't want it to go all the way to the armpit. I'm actually going to start 2 inches in, make my first mark. Make sure the ruler's nice and straight. And then just mark at every inch interval so I'll know right where to cut. And perfect. 2 inches from the end on this side. And once we have our lines drawn, we're just going to make them go all the way up to the collar so we know how far to cut. And so our lines are fairly straight, about 1 inch apart. This first cut I was just eyeballing it, but I like the idea of having the lines just to make sure that I cut straight and stay on track. And now we're going to fold the shirt in half right along that line we made. So there's our line. And then we are just going to make little tiny cuts all along, and that's just so we can get our scissors into the top layer. Okay, and then see I cut the first one here. I'm lifting it up so I'm only cutting through the top layer. We're just going to cut right along those lines all the way up to till we get to the collar. And there we go. And once you wash it, you know, all the chalk will be gone. Now we're going to do our sleeves. I'm going to start by adding some fringe to them. I'm going to measure 5 inches up to make our fringe. And actually for this, I'm going to cut the side seam off, or I'm going to cut the end seam off. Okay, so 5 inches up from there. Mark it with the chalk. And then cut. And this first one I'm going to only make about 1/2 inch because it does go around to the back side. And then these are about 1 inch. And then I am going to cut through the seam. There's only a seam on this side. And now the other side. 5 inches up. And cut. Oop, almost forgot to cut off that seam there. Okay, now we'll do 5 inches up from there. It doesn't have to be perfectly exactly 5 inches. And there's no seam on this side, so I'm just going to cut in like 1/2 inch. Roughly. And then 1 inch for these. And then we're going to cut that seam right in half along the seam. And now for a little bit more fun, I'm going to put some little diamonds down the sleeve. And this will keep you a lot cooler in the summer as well. So for that, all we're going to do is just draw some triangles. I'm going to make each triangle 2 inches. 2 inches long and about 1 inch in. Because when we open it up, it'll be 2 inches. I want to measure in from this seam to make sure that they appear at the exact same spot on both sleeves. So I'm starting 6 inches down from the shoulder seam here. And then it's going to go in 1 inch. And then we're just going to make that into a 2 inch wide triangle, starting here and just drawing out. There we go. I'm going to put 1 inch in between them. I'm just going to mark the end, the center, which this is about 1 inch. And I'm just making it line up with this one. Middle, there, and there. And now we'll do the same for the other side. And now that we have our marks, we're just going to fold the shirt in half so that we can cut both sleeves at the same time so that our cuts match up. Make sure that both sleeves are completely flat and you line up your side seams as well as the ends of the sleeves. Just making our marks a little bit darker. And I'm just going to make one more line to make sure that these are lined up. Looks like my first one was a little bit smaller than my last two. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that they are the same size by redrawing my lines. And there we go. Triangles are cut. And now we'll have some awesome diamond sleeves. Just like that. Okay, let's go try it on. And now look at our shirt. You're not gonna get too hot in this long sleeve this summer. Or are you? It's so fun to dance in. Look at it move. Fringe on the sleeves and cut out diamonds. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please smash that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click that bell so you'll get updated whenever I make a new video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! We're going to turn this into this. Let's get crafting. Into this. Let's get crafting. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!